What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. They do have their earnings coming up. I want to go over some of the current estimates, what analysts are saying, and where it might be going. Before getting to any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So on Monday, it did close at $2.78, down 9.15%. Over the last 1 year, down 11.75%. And then over the last 6 months, down 34.74%. In case you don't know what they do, this is it. So feel free to pause it and read through it. But their earnings is slated for the 25th after hours, negative 29 cents for the earnings per share, 211.77 million for the revenue. Over the last 90 days, you have seen 1 positive and 2 negative revisions to the earnings per share. Quickly going over into that a little bit deeper. So this negative 29 cents does work out to be 4.65% year-over-year growth. So not the best. 2 analyst expectations or estimates from that, 211.77 million for the revenue. That does work out to be 34.75% year-over-year growth. 171 the low, and then 230 the high. That is based on 7 analyst estimates again. Moving over to this, so roughly around 15.14% is that implied move. So relatively volatile earnings, but then again, if we kind of look back, it always seems to be solid double digits. Historically speaking, roughly around 90% of the time, if not a little bit more, the market does see Lucid's earnings as a miss. More common than not, though, they do actually miss on earnings per share. Revenue seems to be like a 50-50 likelihood of them actually beating, but I think this time around, similar to what happened with Rivian did somewhat okay for their key metrics, but they gave very poor future guidance. That's what the market is caring about, even more so with EVs. So Lucid, their 2025 production targets, that is like make it or break it. In my opinion, I think it has to be roughly around that 25 for the market to be kind of satisfied with that. Anything less than that, the market might not necessarily like it and potentially pull back. They also do want some updates associated to, for the most part, like partnerships. There's been a lot of articles coming out saying that like Lucid wants to get a lot of revenue coming from partnerships and just their licensing, but yet they have only one pre-existing that we know of partnership with Aston Martin. But yeah, definitely it'll be a very, very volatile earnings regardless. Looking right over here, I'll give you a quick overview of this. So these are the current questions being posed to management. So typically they ask or answer like 2 to 5 questions, depending on how much, I guess, how difficult the questions might be. But these are the potential top 3 questions. Patrick talking about the revenue, so that 80-20 split. So 80% associated to tech and just licensing, 20% from the car component of their business. So that's what they're going to get for revenue. With superior battery technology, why are partnerships not been confirmed? That's question number 2. And then number 3 is about the Gravity. And so with Gravity deliveries now being low while your manufacturing ramp up quality mindset constrained, are you concerned that you will lose a lot of customers who have pre-ordered due to long wait times? Very good questions in reality. And then number 4 right here talks on pretty much partnerships as well. So yeah, most likely they'll be answering the top 3 questions, possibly 4. I can't see anything more than that. Based on the call options that were purchased, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around that $4 range, which if you think about it, it's actually a pretty good return on investment considering it is at $2.77 right now. Bears are anticipating though for it to be sub $2. Like I said, it'll all come down to future guidance. Shorts, they did increase 1.03 million shares on Monday. 19.49% of the free float is being shorted. Shorts, for the most part, last couple of days they've been increasing, but generally ever since it looks like end of January, they have been returning. So leading into the big event itself, their earnings, I feel like maybe shorts are anticipating that Lucid might actually have some good future guidance and potentially move higher. That's why they've been returning a little bit. But right now with it at $2.78, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So $3 is going to be that next strong target. So that's resistance followed by 340. Flip side 261 and then 237 is going to be the following kind of support levels. So just take note of those. Leading into the earnings though, this is what analysts are kind of saying. There was one rating that did come out the day before their earnings. Doesn't logically make all that much sense. TipRanks hasn't updated, but there was a 350 price target reduced down to, I think it was like $1.13. But as a consensus right now of all the ratings, $2.93, and that does represent a 5.4% upside. So let me know your general thoughts on Lucid. Do you think it's going to beat? Do you think it's going to kind of miss? What is your price predictions for Lucid, and where do you see things going? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then make sure you subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to be doing a post earnings review of absolutely everything that you need to know for Lucid. So don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And then with all that, appreciate all of you watching.